Gender equity entails the provision of fairness and justice in the distribution of benefits and responsibilities between all genders. So, to understand that why gender equity training is needed is to empower the next generation of women leaders to effectively advocate for their rights as well as to create and deploy political strategies to improve women's representation and leadership in policy and in practice. So, the aim is to build female leadership, including 50% of party membership.
We are unapologetic when it comes to things like equal pay, pay equity. We are unapologetic when it comes to support for all people who call themselves women, including trans women. We are unapologetic about support for our rainbow communities and our rainbow women. We are unapologetic for support for disabled women, and so on and so forth. And why I wanted to say that is because for me, gender equity is not just about gender equity. Gender equity also needs to have an intersectional lens and acknowledge all of the other historical, cultural, economic, colonial, and social contexts. And so that is why gender equity is also about decolonisation and re-indigenisation.
One of these important strategies is the communication strategy. It's important women are visible inside Green parties. It's important women are shown in empowering roles on the website, on the social media, on any written materials, and that women are spokespersons as well for the organisation, as well as on executives and parliamentary candidates. So when we see pictures of women that are standing as candidates or in powerful positions, other women also identify with that, and it attracts other women members to the party. And those members might eventually also one day be standing for your National Party executive or your National Party as a Greens candidate in Parliament.
The 2-day training program is to build the women's network and to address topics from organizing effective meetings, team building, and public speaking to political strategy and dealing with negatives and sexual harassment on the campaign trail and within the party. So participants also develop national roadmaps in small group sessions.
We can bring the women leader into the spotlight. The role model was very useful, which was not only for the party but also for
we're still underrepresented in leadership, and we continue to face that negative and sexism in politics. We don't need to be a man or reflect the actions of a man to show that we're strong. So if there is accusations made, the women will support one another. The networks, and I think this is a big part of having your women's networks, using your networks, working within your networks to support one another.
With support of Michelle Seether and Rachna Shrestha, we conducted first gender equity training in India. then organized virtual training for Nepali women members in March 2021. Since then, the Australian Greens International Development Committee and APGF Women's Network has been organizing gender equity training and has championed and implemented number of trainings. In all, 53 women were trained from India and Nepal.
We got to know about what gender equity means and what is this training all about, and how can we organize it in our state, in our respective cities.
In two sections, we have divided into small groups, and we have talked about models and goals and how to establish women recruitment.
Top to bottom approach to implement it properly in our rural areas.
And then to train them on how to communicate with the media and outsiders people.
This year, in March 2021, 17 women from Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Pakistan, Mongolia, and South Korea attended the first Gender Equity Train the Trainer program, along with 3 trainers. Mirama Davidson joined as keynote speaker and presented the concept of gender equity with examples of how Green parties work. Jenny Mulkins presented a session on dealing with backlash and sexual harassment.
Our Train to Trainers is a very good chance for all of us to share our stories and think about how to do this by jumping in to the training ourselves. We think they'll be a very great trainers, and I hope I'll be a great trainer too.
With these initiatives, APGFWN has expanded from 3 trainers to 20 trainers this year. These trainers will in turn develop national training program for women within their own Green parties.
I think everybody learned something from this 2-day seminar, and then in order to make it in practice, in reality, we need to collaborate together. We need to get help and support from each other, and it would be a good practice if you participate again in the next mentoring training.